All right, it is 9:24 on a Monday morning, and there's no better time to review the cringiest SMMA TikToks online. So my team put this list together. Let's check it out.
Who's calling?
Hi, John. My name is David Lusk. I'll be honest with you because both of our time is valuable. I have something to pitch your business if you have 30 seconds.
Well, let me ask you, David. If I called and I said, hey, my name is David Lusk. Look, your time is really valuable. If you got 30 seconds, I could just rattle something off for you real quick.
I would say back, yeah, I've got 30 seconds.
Okay, go for it, David.
Awesome. Well, I run an advertising agency, and we were looking to help solar installers book out their calendars with qualified appointments, if that's something that you would be interested in as a company.
Hey, I work for an advertising company. We book people out for solar appointments. Is that something you'd be interested in? A little more emphatic.
Hey, dude, suck your mom's off.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so you're gonna get like some weird stuff like this if you're cold calling or doing outreach at all, and you have to be willing to go up against adversity over and over and over again, especially when you're first starting out. I think he mentioned there was the end of a really long day, so that's why he cussed him out, but definitely not the right reaction. And here's the thing that a lot of beginners just don't understand is that every single interaction you have with somebody either elevates or decreases your brand equity. And your brand equity is like the amount you can charge as a premium over everybody else in the marketplace. So in this case, it's a pretty isolated incident. Like, they're not going to remember who David Lusk is. They're probably not going to tell their friends about this specific guy, and it's probably not going to be like this really negative impact on his business over the long term. However, if he instead had treated him nicely, that could have turned into a positive referral to somebody else, and that would have elevated his brand equity over time. So a lot of beginners are just stuck in this mindset, like, I just need to get the first client, and they think that negative actions like this won't come back to bite them, and they may not, but they probably will at some point. And so it's good to practice being your best self on every single call that you have with a prospect or a customer.
To get to $10,000 a month in the day and age we live in, it's not hard. Like, I don't mean to be demeaning to people, but
within a business or personal income?
Within a business.
Yeah.
I always say, look, to make $10,000 a month isn't easy. It's simple. If you put your head down, you do it, and you focus on something for 36 months, you will make $10,000 a month. I don't care who you are. I've never seen a case where that doesn't happen.
So there's a couple comments here refuting this one, coming from a boy that went to a high-class school in the middle of London, or translation, it was successful for me, therefore that's a universal experience for everyone. Yes, this is a privileged thing to be saying, but I have to agree with him with one caveat, and the caveat is that you're applying the feedback from the things that you're doing. So quick example, there's this guy I knew about who had posted every single day for I think 2 or 3 years on his YouTube channel, and he had like 400 subscribers or something like that. But every single video he was posting was only getting like 2 or 3 views. And it's because the content was complete garbage. He didn't have anything interesting to talk about. There was no editing. There was no thought put into the content. And there were no thumbnails. There were no descriptions. Like, literally no work was put into this. He just thought, if I just do the work, I'll get the result. But that's not the case. You do the work, and then when it's not working, you change how you're doing the work, and then you come back. And I truly believe if anybody does that for 3 years and actually applies the lessons from the failures they had, then for sure they should be making $10,000 a month. That's pretty much inevitable if you're learning from your mistakes.
If someone comes in and they watch some YouTube video, how to start an SMMA agency, first of all, I hate that word, that acronym, SMMA. It's the dumbest thing ever because it's constricting somebody to social media marketing in particular, when it's like, no, I might like rip cold calls and cold emails for you and make like a lot of money. And the phrase is just so cringy, and that's what they all use on YouTube. SMMA. It's like, bro, shut up. It's a B2B service company.
This comment said, bro took it personally. And then this person said, SMMA agency, social media marketing agency. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I don't love SMMA as like a keyword or a name that we use, but I guarantee if we go to his channel and search SMMA, oh, look at that. The most popular video he's had in the last 4 months has what keyword in the title? SMMA. But he hates it. So dumb. Word on the street is that this next one's from the top G himself. So let's check it out.
So we now live in an economy, we live in a world where the most valuable currency, the most valuable thing that exists is attention. It's extremely difficult to get because people's attention spans are lower than ever.
Yep.
Bro, they're non-existent. Have you ever watched someone on TikTok? Next time someone's on TikTok, watch them, because I don't have a TikTok account myself, but I see people on it. How long do they give a video to interest them? Maybe a third of a second? They're like,
not interested enough, move on.
Bro, that quick. If you don't get my attention in 0.25 seconds, I'm not interested, right? That's how hard it is now. So, and it's getting harder and harder because the apps and the algorithms are retraining our brains to do that.
Yep.
So now we live in a world where if you can find a way to hack these algorithms and you can find a way to get attention, and there's lots of different ways to do that, then you can find a way to monetize it. And off the back of that, you can become a very, very wealthy individual.
He's exactly right. When he says hack the algorithm, he doesn't literally mean hack. He means finding a way to capture people's attention from the algorithms, which then makes it look like you've hacked it. And that's exactly what advertising is. The first thing I teach my students when it comes to ads is that you've got to get the person on their phone to stop scrolling and look at your ad. I saw an ad the other day. It was literally like a golden banana and had nothing to do with what they were advertising, but it was so weird that I stopped because it was a golden banana. And marketing agency owners that get really good results for their clients understand copywriting on a very, very high level and understand getting people to stop scrolling on a very high level as well. Real quick, guys, this video is sponsored by my 1 hour completely free 4 pillars to 7 figures marketing agency training that I made that spills all the secrets on how I grew to 7 figures before I sold my agency. Check it out using the link below, and back to the video.
The SMMA business model is completely outdated coming into 2023. Let me show you why. This is what's called the value ladder, and if you were to start a traditional SMMA providing services like content creation and social media management, you're going to be at the first 2 steps right there. Very, very low value. Providing these services leaves you at pretty much like a liability to the company because you can be easily replaced. People can just go straight to Fiverr or a Facebook group or even Upwork and just replace you for as cheap as $3-4 an hour. Whereas if you were to start something like SaaS, which means software as a service, you're right at the very, very top of this value ladder because you're providing nothing but value for a company. You're able to generate them sales, you're able to keep track of their marketing, you're able to literally house everything in one so that you can generate them money and you're able to see exactly how much money you're actually bringing in. But the thing is with content right down here, there's no direct correlation right there. No way that you can actually guarantee sales for a company. Whereas with SaaS, you can literally see all the numbers. Currently looking to work with 5 people that would like to start and scale their own SaaS companies within the next 90 days for completely free. If you've been
5 people, if you're one of them, reach out to this guy. So many problems with this one on so many different levels. First of all, he's either completely misunderstood the value ladder concept or he's just deliberately chosen to misrepresent it here to make it sound fancier. But what the value ladder is that these bottom ones are cheap things or free things to get people into your ecosystems so that you can start emailing them and not have to pay for ads. And then once they're in here, then you start charging them more and more and more. And the very top of the value ladder is the like $25,000 mastermind. It's the expensive thing. And SaaS is actually down here on the continuity program. This is from Russell Brunson's .com Secrets. Excellent book, by the way. So he's saying with SaaS, you're the most valuable thing in that company. Therefore, you're at the top of the value ladder. But that's not how it works at all. It's what you're charging the most for. But the real issue with the SaaS model is twofold. And especially with the rise of Go High Level, like so many different people are marketing the exact same software with no differentiation whatsoever. And number 2, you can't charge like $3,000 a month for a software product, which means that you have to do all this outreach, get on all these sales calls. And if you sell someone, congratulations, you're making $200 a month off them instead of $3,000 a month. If you're going to get on sales calls with people, sell them services that are expensive. If they can't afford it or they don't want to do it, then you can try to downsell them, but you shouldn't be pitching them a $200 a month service on a sales call. It's a waste of time and you won't be able to scale. It's going to take you forever. Full video on this topic on my channel. Check it out.
If you run an agency or want to start an agency, watch this. Your website doesn't matter. The website doesn't matter. The logo doesn't matter. The business name, none of that shit matters, bro. Learn the skill, sell the skill, and keep going. Get testimonials, get case studies, use those, and keep doing it. The website, the branding, and all the other shit can come later. get clients, get work, learn how to do what you do.
Excellent advice. My only advice for this guy is just put a shirt on if you're going to make content for advertising your agency. I mean, if you're advertising to other agency owners, I guess they like that chest hair or something. I don't know, but solid advice. Just I prefer watching people with shirts on.
Whenever I hop on a sales call, anytime I hop on a call, I always start the call with, and this is on purpose, I show up a minute late on purpose. And I'll tell you why. I'm just saying, hey, sorry I'm a minute late. This client was on a Zoom with us and they were excited on the last 5 minutes because we just got them this and this in 30 days and they're making X amount of money. That's all I did. And now the prospect is now like, shit, I want that. I'm gonna listen. You know, maybe I should grab my wallet and get my credit card ready. You know, maybe I should have this thing framed in mind to close. Because now you're teasing it without even talking about the niche or industry. You're just saying this thing happened. And now the curiosity drives them. Humans are driven by curiosity.
There are several different ways to tell if a perp is lying.
This person says, bro, you're not talking to anyone. Why are you mic'd up and have a microphone in here? Depending on where your ethics lie and your definition of honesty, you may or may not be comfortable with this. I personally don't feel comfortable like legit lying to somebody like this every single time I get on a sales call. But I think the sense of urgency is something that everybody can communicate. So if somebody's like, oh yeah, can you follow up with me? You could be like, let me look at my calendar. Yeah, I think I should be able to follow up with you in a few days. Basically, you should be communicating the fact that they're not the only person that's looking to get started with what you're doing. And another one you can do, if you end up calling a prospect back, instead of saying, hey, I'm just following up, instead say, hey, I just had a chance to get back to you. So this one specifically don't love.
Future state for agencies in terms of if I were to start today and I had to be within that sphere is that I would be looking at the stopgap and then recruit the people to build the department out. Ultimately, most business owners want that, and it's a much more valuable solution. If you're saying I'm going to build this department with you, it's also automatically a much longer sale, which means your LTV will probably be significantly longer, because fundamentally, if you can get all the skills that you have put into their business, you've cloned your agency in their business and made it significantly more valuable. It also accounts for their fear, which is, well, there's two scenarios for the business owner. Either I pay you and you suck, or the other bad scenario, which is I pay you and you're amazing and you own me. If I were the salesman selling this thing, I'd be like, here are your two options with the current state. I want to show you door 3, which is I am really good, but I'm going to build this so that you're not dependent on me.
All right, so I had to look up the definition of stopgap, which is a temporary way of dealing with a problem or satisfying a need. So basically what he's saying is people who have kind of like a band-aid approach to their marketing right now, like somebody does it part-time or they brought someone on but they're not doing a great job, you come in and you actually fix that and like install a real marketing department for them. And I think he's spot on, but there's a couple issues I see here. Number one, beginners aren't going to be able to execute this model well because they don't know what to look for. Like they need to put in the time being the agency before they could actually build out a good marketing team, because they're not going to have anywhere near the experience necessary to recruit, hire, train marketing people and install them in another business and ensure that they're successful. And then another thing is that a lot of small businesses don't have the money to have an entire marketing department. And so I'm not totally sure how that would apply. Potentially you could do like fractional team members that work partially on their account and partially on other accounts, like appointment setters or media buyers or something like that. Could potentially work. Overall, solid idea from Hormozy, but for beginners, I think near impossible to execute. If you like this video, I'm going to make a part 2, so go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next one.